Welcome to lesson 2 in functions. Today we're going to identify functions from the tables that we can encounter. But before we do that, well, let's identify our goal, which I just said, to determine if a table is a function or if it represents a function. And I want to review just briefly the vertical line rule. But before we do that, watch this presentation from Shmoop. Okay, so I wanted to briefly review, in addition to what Shmoop just shared with you, these are some samples I'm going to be putting on our help sheet. You'll be able to get those in the usual link. But these 4 graphs right here are valid functions. As you can see, the vertical line test on every one of them passes. We only go through one location on the graphs, each of those. Over here we've got some examples that are not functions. A good old circle is not a function because no matter where we put this line, it just matters that it happens once, but it happens all over the place. We'll pass through 2 locations on the graph. Same with this sideways. This is called a parabola. These shapes are called parabolas. It's like a satellite dish. Okay, satellite dishes are parabolas. So this one does not pass the line test because it's going sideways. This one passes the line test because it's going up. Tricky, huh? So this one is just like a squiggly, it looks like a river flowing. And that one doesn't pass because it goes through these 3 locations. And then we've got this cool looking sideways V, right? It does not pass because we go pass through it twice. So there's a quick review of that. Now, what I want to do is we want to practice a little bit of figuring out the input and output. I want to show you, we're going to figure out this input using the output using all of these inputs for this equation. And we're going to determine if it's a function. All right, and I want you to pay close attention. So first of all, what we do is we literally just plug and chug. We are plugging in each of those x values to find out what our y value is. So let's see if we can do that. So if we plug in a 0, oops, that's a 0. 0 plus 4, of course, 4, right? If we plug in a 1, 1 plus 4, simple, right? This is not hard at all. 1 plus 4, 2 plus 4, 6. And 3 plus 4, I don't think I need to write that anymore. There we go. We've now figured out all of our, used our inputs to come up with outputs. Now what I want to show you is, I want you to start learning how to look at a table like that and be able to tell if it's a function or not. So what we would do, this is the exact same one we just had, only now I've put on a graph on our page here so that I can graph these and we can see if it passes the line test. So I want you to pause a second here. Just, let's think. Do you think this is going to pass the line test? What do you think? Make a guess. All right, now I am going to put these dots on here and let's see if we end up with a function or not. So 0, 4. We start at the 0, 0. This is x. This is y. We start in the middle, we go left or right, and then we go up and down. So left or right, we don't because it's a 0, and then we go up to 4. The next one is positive 1, positive 5. Takes us right there, just about there. Next one we go to positive 2, positive 6. We're getting a nice line, aren't we? We've got enough here to show us a line. And positive 3, oops, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Positive 7, so it goes right there. So, does this pass our vertical line test? If I drew a vertical line through each of these dots, we don't have any of them overlapping. None of them are repeating. We don't have any dots above each other. This does pass the vertical line test. I want you to notice something. Each one of our x's is a different value. Well, so are our y's. But this is going to become important information. All right, now I want you to show me if you can plug in and come up with the right answer. So I want you to plug in that 4 for x, find the coordinates, the one coordinate that is the correct set for this equation. Now, again, this is a little bit of a review from last lesson. Okay, we talked before about input, output, doing something to it, all right? And we've talked about how a function is a relationship between x and y so that each x value yields one distinct y value. And we need to really dig into it a little bit more today and understand what that means. So I want you to watch this video. Should be a little fun, and understand a function is an x equals 1y. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Pay close attention. You have a question to answer in a second. Okay. A function is an x equals, y. What is it? Now I want to show you tables and graphs together, all right? This graph represents all of these values right here that are on this table. Notice, -5, let's see, this is -1, 2. So -5 is here, -5 x and positive 2y. -4x, positive 2y. All of the y's, notice on my table, you can see all my y's are the same value. They're all positive 2. And on here, you can see the reason that it's a horizontal line is all the y's are positive 2. All the x's are different. Does this pass the line test? Well, yes, it does. No matter where we draw a vertical line, we're only going to pass through our graph once. I want you to start recognizing that as long as these x's are all different, it's okay that they have the same y, all right? We can't have the same x with the same y, and I'll show you that in a minute. But right now, just remember, y's can be the same, but x's can't. That's the important thing. Let me show you one that is not a function. You ready, Owen? I know you're dying to see a table that's not a function, so I brought it in quicker this time for you. Didn't make you hang as long, Owen. I know that drove you crazy this last lesson. So take a look at this one. Notice the graph. This is what we learned in the last lesson. A vertical line does not pass the vertical line test, right? Because we've got more than one value that we are crossing through. In fact, we've got them all. Notice all the x's are 2 in our table, but all the y's are different. What's important here is that all our x's are 2. This is not a function. Not a function, okay? So when you see x repeated, it is not a function. Don't forget that, Owen. All right, now take a look at this one. I'm not showing you the graph of it just yet. What I just said to you was, look at the x's. If they repeat and they give different output, then it's not a function, okay? So I've got x went in there, the value 3 twice, and I came out with a 4, and I came out with a 6. That makes it not a function. But just so you know for sure, you visual people, let me show you our graph. There we go. All right, I've graphed all these values, and notice we've got right here. It's not a very straight line, is it? But the straight line test is failed. All right, so 3, positive 3, positive 4, and then positive 3, positive 6. All right, see I've got those here. That's these two, the highlighted ones. Makes it not a function. All right, now it's your turn. Function? No function. Now here's a little help sheet that, again, will be waiting for you in the help sheets file, just to give you some examples of things that could come up. Notice I've got, 0, 1, 3, 5, 8. All of my x's are different But notice I've repeated some y's. All right, these two are both 3, but both of these x's are different. This is an okay function. All right, that one's okay. This one's similar to the one that we were looking at before. This is a horizontal line because all the y's are the same and all the x's are different. Take a look at this one. Again, all of our x's are different and our y's are, we have 2 that match. It's okay. It's okay. This is a function. So if you graph this, you're going to see it's a function. Now down here are ones that are not functions. We've got 2 x's that are 1's, and they come out with 2 different answers, a 3 and a 6. That makes it not a function. And here you got to look a little carefully because they're not sitting next to each other like this one is. A -2, and down here I've got a -2. This -2 came out with a 6. This -2 came out with a 10. Not a function. Okay? Hopefully you can remember this now a little bit better so that when you're looking at a table, you can tell whether or not it's a function and you don't have all the trouble of graphing it every time to try out the line test. All right? You can do this, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.